to get up. I will go to sleep when he says to go to sleep. I will do what he says to do. Why? Because he is raising and training me for better. What is Buddha doing for you? He ate all your donuts, your dummy. I'm kind of the hostess. Here's the hostess with the mostess. Get your donuts and run. I thank God though for Buddhas, because when I kicked PTSD and OCD out, I believe they would throw me with Buddhas because he took my comfort food. The Buddhas were never in my house. I promise you, bro. I'm saying just like that, comfort food with it, the whole TD and the PTSD. I was not eating the crazy foods all the time. I could pick up a piece of fruit and I could be okay with it. Before I had a chocolate chip, some with chocolate chips in it. And then I'm talking chocolate chips, but cookies. I gotta have a cookie. And I got powder, gluten-free cookie powder in my cabinet thinking it's doing nothing. And if I did, my thing is, if I got enough energy, enough strength to make a batch of cookies, then I can have a cookie. Otherwise, no. So the batch is sitting there. You better learn how to teach yourself in the teaching. You ain't supposed to have comfort with comfort food. If you got comfort food, if you got a desire for comfort food, then you better have the ability to get to go get it. I said, at one point I was on job and she had to just put it to Boy Rogers. I wanted a 2-piece and a biscuit, but my thing is I thought about it. I ain't allowing myself to get one unless I can walk up my tail up to the street by the train tracks next to the T-Mobile or the Boost Mobile, whatever that is, and get me a 2-piece and a biscuit. If you can make a walk to exercise to go and get it, then you have now earned it because you worked it off. You already worked it off, so you took it. And I didn't think about it. What if I did not get rid of all the calories when I walk that thing? Is it okay? Is it worth it when I bite into that piece of chicken and feel that breeze sliding into my arteries and veins? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Tell me about it. You are going on a cruise, aren't you? Somebody told me to go on a cruise, and I have to think about that. They're planning to go on a cruise. See, the woman that was the widow of Zarephath, she did not plan a cruise that she was on. She did not want to be on it, but she was on it. Some of us are on cruises and we don't realize that we just go on cruises and we call it a vacation when it may not have ever meant it. But that may not have meant for it to be that called that. What's a vacation in this season to me? See, I thought about the scriptures. I said, okay, how do I vacate with Jesus? How do I take a vacation? How do I go on vacation with you? How can I be a part of you and not depart from you? How can I be a part from you, a part of you, and not be a part from you? How can I give somebody a piece of my mind without losing every piece that I've got and only ended up with one piece? How do I leave with a piece of mind and give someone a piece of my mind and I lose every piece of my mind that I have been blessed with? How do I get on the cruise and be on the ship and be with you, but then not lose my oil in the process? She had her oil in the cruise. She was on a vacation that she never intended to be on. Are you vacationing with Jesus properly, or are you meeting the enemy at his dock? Have you met the enemy at his dock? Are you stuck between two opinions? I think about when Jesus was watching the disciples as they struggled to get a hold of the ship. I imagine they had an oar or two. If you could make an oar and a ship, you can figure out how to do that. Why couldn't you figure out how to make a motor? I don't understand it. They had a ship and an oar. To think that they had a ship and an oar, they knew how to make that. They figured that out. You can figure certain things out in the recesses of your mind, but you can't sit down and say, okay, I know I asked Buddha for this by chanting for 48 hours straight last week from Tuesday to Thursday. I chanted and I ching 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 like Tina Turner and Angela Bassett. Chomp like that. I did it. Why ain't I got a Maserati? Why ain't I right miserable in a Maserati? And or why has he not answered me in it? But I will tell you, no, I'm not giving it to you, and here is why. He will give you an answer to it. God said, he said, if you want to know what's going on, Job, ask me why it's going on, why it's happening. Somebody came to me and told me, it was my masseuse. She prophesied on me while she was doing me. She just put my back. She said, Jamie, God said, why aren't you asking him about stuff? He tells you no about something. You say, okay, and you keep going. That's just Jamie's attitude. She's always been like that.
that? The answer is no. I ain't gonna ask why. The answer is just no. And I respect God enough that I will take God's answer at His word and know that He has a good reason why He is doing it. I walk in, don't just believe or don't just say I'm looking at. I walk in Romans 8:28. I believe in the God that blessed me, called me according to His purpose. Then if what I am asking Him for doesn't line up with His purpose, then a no is just good enough for me. As a matter of fact, no becomes my blessing. When the no, you can't have it, Jamie, has become my blessing. Wait, who am I? No! Your kids have learned that no is a bad thing. Why? Because they don't trust you. That's why I'll tell you. They don't understand why you're telling them no. You will notice that you have kids that will rebel and try you more, but when you don't sit them down and say no, and this is why. This is why. No. They will rebel. Everybody's not like Jamie. Jamie's abused one up. So everybody's not like Jamie. Everybody don't just accept no. What we do is we try God. And the funny thing about that is God told us to try Him in something. And we don't do that either. Malachi 3:10 is the only place where God said that you could try Him, and you are trying Him at the place of the apple. You are trying Him at the tree when you should be trying Him at the tithe. He said, I will not follow, try me now in this, says the Lord of hosts, not hostess booters. That I will not open you, the windows of heaven. See, you gotta pay attention to the word thing, because God said, try me now in this, says the Lord of hosts, not donuts, not hosted donuts, booters, get saved, get right. Try me now in this, says the Lord of hosts, if I will not open the windows of heaven. He said, I'll open the windows. Open you, the windows. Open me. He said, try me now and this, says the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven. Open for you. That's what that means. Open for you. Singular. Try me, singular. Now in this, says the Lord of hosts, if I will not open, singular, you, windows of heaven. And pour. See, here's the thing. There's a windows in there. There's a plural. Try me, singular. Now in this, says the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you, singular, the windows, plural. Thank you for the plural. Open you the windows of heaven. And pour out one blessing, singular. We went back to singular. In the beautiful. It's important though, because if we are called according to God's purpose, that is singular again. He has a purpose for you. He has a purpose for you. But if you are called according to God's purpose, you are not afraid to hear no. Because I know if God says no to me, I serve beautiful, wonderful, almighty, all powerful God. You know how you really feel about God when God says no to you. Do I enjoy hearing God say no all the time? No. I don't enjoy it, but I accept it immediately. It's not like a grieving acceptance. See, we're gonna go through 6 stages of grief, because we're going through a loss of what we wanted. But you don't realize that you out your mind, because when you lose what you want, you gain the cost that Jesus died on you for you on. You want a crown, but you don't want to accept the crown of thorns. The man that comes bearing it, if he comes bearing suffering, will you want that? Paul talks about 2 crowns in the Bible, the crown of life and the crown of righteousness. If you want a crown, any crown, those are the ones that Paul talks about you getting, right? Those that worship Paul, y'all know the word, right? Y'all worship Paul, right? So if you're talking about the crowns that God has set aside for you, Paul talks about the crown of life and the crown of righteousness. What if both of those crowns come with thorns? Come with thorns, come with thorns, come with thorns. The reason why they had the station the crown in his head. First of all, he's a king. You don't put nothing on the king's head and expect it not to fly off the wind unless you station it. They put it on his head because they want to make their mark in his head. Your head is your ID. When I want to know who you are, when I look at your face, I want to ID with what I see, and I see your eyes first. They want to put their mark on his head. So what they do is they took a crown of thorns and pushed it down in it. They pushed the crown of thorns into his head, thinking that if they pushed it in, they would make an indelible mark not only outside but within. You asked for a crown, I gave you a crown of thorns. I told you to put it on, but in order to put the crown of thorns on, you must experience suffering, because that's to be pushed into your head. But what are you now thinking about me when you asked me for a crown and I gave you thorns instead? in your head. You got crowns and crowns and crowns are laying up before you. You asked for a crown, but you didn't specify which one. I asked everybody yesterday, I said, do you guys realize that we ask for crowns, but we don't realize that Jesus wore a crown of thorns and Paul got a thorn, right? Because he said he already had a thorn that was buffeting him, and God said, my grace is sufficient, for my strength is made perfect in your weakness. So what was Paul supposed to do? Either take that thorn and put it in his pocket, or take that thorn and put it in his crown, in his head, and say 1 + 1 = 2. Where's the next thorn? God, I'm ready for it. And for every wilderness, I'm supposed to come out with nothing but the crowns of thorns. Why? Because in the wilderness, there's nothing but thorns and thistles.